Ladies and gentlemen, the comic book launch of The Murder Club by Tony Cooper. Skips the important question there.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a black and white graphic novel. It's about two school kids who plot to murder people and frame others for the killing. They're highly intelligent psychopaths, and they both know what they are, and it's their goal to try and get away with the most elaborate, strangest crimes that they can. It's basically a test for themselves, see how far they can go.
And do you have a copy with you?
I do indeed. This is a copy of the first volume, Useless Deaths. This is part one. It's actually split into two parts. Part two should be out beginning of next year. In total, it'll be 114 pages long.
How many sort of frames per page, or does it vary?
Yeah, it varies per page. It's not like a rigid. It's not a rigid structure.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, I'm working on. I'm doing all this digitally on a screen.
Talk a little bit about the self-publishing model you're adopting for this.
This all came about via a Kickstarter. I went on Kickstarter, set up a goal for £900 for the printing. Essentially got freedom to do whatever I want with it. So if I was working with a publisher, they might want to change a certain image, it might be too graphic, or they might not like a certain element of the story. But self-publishing it, I've got full control over the story and how it looks, the printing of it. I'm involved in every element of that. So yeah, it's great for control freaks, and it's great as well if you want to retain control of your story. Basically, once the artwork's finished, once it's all converted into a PDF, you can essentially get it on Amazon, and it's up there within 2 days. It's essentially straight away. And if you want to do any changes, again, you can just re-upload it, and again, the changes up there usually within 24 hours. But if you went with a traditional publisher, they'd spend months choosing a cover, trying to get the distributing, and then once it's out there, they choose where it goes. But then subsequently, if you spot an error, or you wanted to change something yourself, you couldn't. Or there might be restrictions on a reprint run, or they might not do it because it hadn't sold as much. So there's all these limitations. But doing it yourself, you can. It's great. I love it because you've got freedom to do whatever you want with it.
So how long did it take you to do?
It took me in total probably about 9 months. Only about a month. Well, the first month of that was mostly writing and sketching out the characters, trying to design what they look like and the locations. But then, yes, the bulk of it after that was artwork. Then I also did sort of chop and change the story a little bit as I went along and got feedback and so on. But yeah, most of that was art, making up most of that 9 months.
Did you get any assistance going through testing your graphic novel before it went out from any kind of local groups or anything?
Yes, I did. I'm a member of this fantastic group of local self-published authors called New Street Authors. Basically they do a lot of beta reading of your work, work in progress. So I found a few of them who were interested, interested in reading comics, graphic novels. Sent it to them, got lots of feedback, did some changes based on that, especially to the ending of the second part. Lots of great feedback there. It was very useful.
What kind of you say changes to the ending? Was there a specific problem that readers didn't like?
It was, yes. I mean, not to give too many spoilers away, but it's about the particular resolution with one of the characters, about how the character ended up being too passive in how the story ended. So I had to rewrite the ending, and it involved doing a small change to the artwork. Because luckily it was only at the very early stage, the pencil stage, hadn't done any final artwork, which meant to go quickly chop and change, redo that, rewrite it, and I think then it was much stronger because of that.
I thought it was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was you.
I'll have to read that. See what it comes out like.
It's just an ebook. You download it, you can get it on Kindle, or you'll read it on your PC screen. But yes, and hopefully they do a print on demand service. It used to be via CreateSpace, but Amazon do one themselves now. So I'm going to have a look at that and see if it'll work with that.
So it's only the Kickstarter patrons who've got a physical copy.
It's all been sent out to the patrons on Kickstarter, and obviously like selling copies here at the launch event, and then first proper sale of them will be at the International Comics Expo in Birmingham next month. That'll be the first convention where I'll be selling the comics, so see how it goes.
I'm really interested in the economics of it, in terms of, you're obviously a novelist as well, and much easier, I would imagine, much cheaper to be a novelist, a prose novelist. But to be a comic book writer and to be independent strikes me as it's a very expensive undertaking. So can you talk about that in terms of how much you have to think about the economics of it?
Yeah, I mean, well, for prose, essentially you're writing for free, and the only thing you really have to pay for is cover art. If you're doing a comic and you're essentially just a writer, then you need to pay for the artist. And page rates vary. You can obviously get someone to do it cheap, but then, the whole triangle, like cheap and quick, and, and well done. But the page rates vary. It's usually like £200 a page. So for something like this, like 70 pages, it'd be thousands you'd be paying, which is an astronomical cost for someone who's independent, like self-published. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I did it myself. Obviously, because again, like my art time's essentially free, although it's taking time. But then when it comes to the printing costs essentially very similar to book printing costs. Yeah. So this for 200 copies, each copy is about £2.88.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Which is equivalent to like 200 novels. Yeah. The software is called Manga Studio. They used it specifically for creating comics. I used that right from the start. Did my first comic the same way as well, Some Kind of Hero. So I just carried on this one. The main difference was the first comic was colour, and this one's black and white. Yeah, it was partly a sort of stylistic choice, but also partly it was a mix of that and a mix of like time as well. Because the colour, 22 pages of colour, that took me 9 months to do. Just 22 pages full colour, just because it was so intricate, so involved, doing all colouring and shading. This was 70 pages, or 68 pages of black and white, and that took me 9 months to do. So that's the difference between doing full colour and black and white. So it saves time, but it also fits the mood of the story as well, the dark.
It can be powerful, black and white.
It can, yeah.
But have you been through the process? Have you got quicker?
Yes, definitely, yeah, definitely a lot quicker now. I'm working on part 2. I'm going through the inking, and I'm pretty much a lot faster. Probably about 50% as fast. The inking stage. The inking is essentially the outlining, because when I first do this, I do it in like a blue pencil. So it's just like pale blue lines, where like with rough outlines of the characters, by the background the doors are, and so on. Then inking is when you go over that with the final lines for the faces, the backgrounds, and then you can colour in any black shadows. So it's like such in like the nighttime scenes as well. It's like got like black shadowing in there.
Yeah. Well, if you coloured it, you'd have to put colour on top of that as well, wouldn't you? And that
Yeah.
would be time consuming.
I mean, the difference to this one is it used a lot of shading, grey shading, and tone work as well. So there's like various tones on the blazers there. It's like a pattern tone, and on their jumpers and coats. So it's about choosing the right tones that suit the mood, suit the image, and sort of work on the page.
Usually, like me, you go for the superpowered, superhuman type stories. This time, you've gone for a psychological thriller with no apparent superhuman powers.
Yeah.
What was your decision for that?
Basically, it came from the sort of prose stories I write. I've written several short stories. Well, some of them kind of like superhero based, but a lot of them are just ordinary stories. No superpowers involved, no supernatural. It's just about ordinary people, but strange events happening to them. And it just came from that, really. The first comic was branched off from my 2 superhero novels. featuring some of the characters, so that was naturally a superhero story in a comic that just fitted perfectly. But for this one, it came to me, and I just thought that would work as a graphic novel. It never seemed a fit for a prose work for me. So when the idea came to me, I just said, yeah, that's a graphic novel. It has to be done that way. And it's the same process as doing like a superhero book, essentially, but it's,
It was a story you felt that you wanted to get out there and tell.
Yes, absolutely.
You didn't have to have superhero and superpowered villains and heroes in it.
Yeah, when I first came up with the idea, it just grabbed me, and it just wouldn't let go. It was one of those ideas. Sometimes you get ideas for things that, yeah, that's all right, and you write it down somewhere and forget about it and never think about it again. But this one came to me, and it just wouldn't let go. So I started sketching the characters, started coming up with ideas for the stories, and I already know the ending, how the whole... Hopefully this will be a series of graphic novels. Hopefully a whole series. I already know some of the stories in the future, and I know how it's going to end. But hopefully we'll see how the first one goes and take it from there.
Presumably in this case it felt this is a visual story and not just a words, not just words.
Yeah.
You sort of feel
Yeah.
this is visual.
Yeah.
Is that this kind of thinking that goes through?
Yeah, I mean, when I get ideas, I know pretty much straight away whether it's going to be prose work, graphic novel work. I've got ideas as well for like TV and films, and I know that I'm never going to do because I'm never going to make like a movie. But I know straight away when I come an idea what sort of format, what media it's going to be in, which is it just seems to work in my head.
Thank you very much. Good luck with the launch.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Fantastic.